Hey guys, I wanted to share this quick video with you because a lot of people, they come to my community and they come to me and they don't have clarity around their offer. And even some of my clients, they just are completely lost. And even when they think they have clarity, and they make this huge mistake. But like I had the same, because when I look at my journey, like the first 9 months, it was horrible. I was completely lost. I didn't have an offer. I didn't have valuable skills I was able to monetize. I didn't even have a good mindset. So, and even after the first 9 months, when I did have an offer, because I solved a very valuable problem for myself, my biggest problem that I was facing, that was my lack of focus. After the 9 months, I knew how to focus. I knew how to stay consistent. Discipline was completely irrelevant because of it. So I thought I had an amazing offer. I had a great offer and it was really valuable. I knew that it was really valuable because of the progression I made because of it. But when I started explaining it to other people, nobody was really interested. When I pitched my offer, nobody was buying my offer. And I figured out a way to basically get really clear around your offer in a short time frame. And this I learned from investing in mentorship, for example. I spent thousands of dollars in mentorship and I started helping clients myself. I've helped 15 clients so far. And yeah, that is what I'm going to show you with you guys in this video. So what you have to understand is that you will go through two different phases. And the first phase is the exploration phase. The second phase is the exploitation phase. And this is basically what it looks like. This is you. And right now in this current situation, and you're completely lost. You don't have clarity on your offer, and if you think you do, it isn't a proven offer. You don't actually have coached a lot of clients yet. So, and if you haven't coached a lot of clients yet, then it's impossible to be clear on it. So this is you. Right now, what you have to do is explore. There are many different offers, business models, opportunities that you can basically that you can test. So these opportunities are basically like doors. And what you're going to do is explore all of these doors, but not one by one, but all simultaneously. So you will basically test those different things. And this, for example, like think of yourself like, what valuable outcomes have I achieved for myself or for other people's? What problems have I solved for myself or for other people? And like, what is my expertise? What do I do for a 9 to 5, for example? And all of these things, all of the problems that you solved, all of the valuable outcomes that you have achieved, those are different opportunities, and you're just going to test them out, because 99% of the assumptions are wrong. The only way to really find out if it is a good opportunity, yes or no, is to test it. So you're going to test all of these different things. And once you start hopping on calls with people, once you start signing clients, once you start really practicing your offer, basically helping clients, getting feedback on it, iterating it, then you know, once you've signed a few clients, what the best opportunity is. And then you are going to compare, like, what is this one, what is this one, what is this one. And once one thing stands out way above the rest, what you're going to do is you're going to close the other doors, except for the one that you think is the greatest opportunity. Then you will go to the exploitation phase, and you will just only focus on this one thing, because that is how you become the best at what you do. It is funny because the people who aren't really far in their journey, they always brag about, oh yes, I do so much, I do this study, I do this offer, I do this business model, this business model, this business model. But the real advanced people, if you want to impress them, you need to actually tell them how little you do, because the less is more. Like, if you can't become great if you don't focus. If you focus on many different things, you won't become good. If you focus on one thing, that is where you will see the greatest results. So basically, before going into the exploitation phase, you need to explore, test different opportunities. And how do you do that? Well, let me explain. So, to get clear on what is the best opportunity, you need to get clear on two things. That is this. This circle, it represents you. It basically represents what you can and want to offer. This represents the market. So the way that you figure out what the best opportunity is to figure out what is the intersection. What this part is what we want to focus on. This is the market resonance. This is the market resonance. We must get really clear on this. The intersection between what you can and want to offer and what the market wants to pay you for. So, but before we get clear on this, we of course need to be crystal clear around this circle and this circle. And here's basically how you do that. If you want to figure out what you can and want to offer, you have to find the intersection of these three things. The first is your strengths. I don't know if you write it like that, strengths. The second is your passions. The third is your purpose. So, you have to find something that is like the intersection of these things. So for the strengths, to figure it out, basically like ask yourself, so what are you good at? What do you receive a lot of compliments about? What tasks seem effortless to you? That is how you get clear on your strengths. On your passion, ask yourself, like, what do you really like to do? What activities make you forget about time? Or what things did you like to do as a child? That is how you get clear on your passions. Then your purpose is, what problems can you solve, like we discussed earlier. Like, how can you make the world a better place? And once you think you find an opportunity, basically a business model, an offer, or anything, make sure that it checks those 3 points. So like, is it a strength of yours? Okay, check. Is it your passion? Do you actually like to do it? Okay, cool. Now, does the world actually need it? Like, is this a valuable problem that you can solve? And once you can check all of these 3 boxes, You get really clear on what you can and want to offer, basically. Then next thing is to get really clear on what the market wants to pay you for. And this won't happen by thinking about it, because like I said, 99% of the assumptions are wrong. The only way to really find out is to test it. So what do you have to do is you have to hop on calls with leads, with people in your network, with whoever, and basically make sure they have the same goal as you, like the same passion, doing vaguely similar things. And once you hop on a call with someone like that, basically ask them these 4 questions. So the first question, or the first thing that you have to figure out, is their current situation. The next thing is the desired situation. So if you got really clear on their current situation and their desired situation, there is a clear gap from where they are now to where they want to be. And this gap is really powerful. The third thing you want to ask them is, what is your biggest bottleneck? Bottleneck is basically like what is stopping you from actually getting to your desired situation? What is the biggest challenge, the biggest roadblock, the biggest problem? And once you get clear on this, the last thing that you should ask is their ideal solution. Once you get really clear on those 4 points, the current situation, the desired situation that creates a gap, the bottleneck is what is stopping them from getting there, and the ideal solution, you know exactly what that person wants, and this is what he wants to pay you for, because he literally said, this is where I want to go. This is his overwhelming desire. And once you do one of these calls, for example, one of those research calls where you ask all of these 4 questions, you will get clear on a part of the market. For example, when you do 2 of these calls, you will get clear on this part. So when you do 30 of these calls, 30 of these market research calls, then you have a very clear understanding of the whole market. And then once you've done 30 calls and you also know like what you can and want to offer, then you are able to get clear on this. And once you get clear on this, the intersection, then you can go into the exploitation phase. Then you can narrow down, like don't pick a niche before that, because I think it is better to be directionally accurate than it is to be specifically inaccurate. Because what happens is when you just guess, you're picking an offer and you're trying to sell it to people, like 99% sure that it won't work because you haven't tested it, isn't a validated offer. So then you have to go start all over again and start all over again, and it could take years to find something that makes it work. And when you first do the unscalable work of hopping on calls and becoming really clear on what you can and want to offer, then this is tested. This is a validated and proven offer, and then you can go into the exploitation phase and just focus on that one thing and really become the best at what you do. I'm just at the beginning of the exploitation phase, and here the results are like exponential, because in the first 15 months basically I earned nothing. The first 15 months of being active on social media, like actively trying to monetize, I didn't earn anything. Then after the 15th month, when I also invested in mentorship, because like sales and stuff like this is very nuanced, like come up with it yourself, like it is almost impossible, right? So then I invested in a mentor and I closed my first client only for $100 then. So it took me 15 months to earn $100. But then it took me maybe 5 more months to earn more than $10,000. And it is rapidly growing. I'm seeing those exponential results because I'm in the exploitation phase. But first, you need to explore. You need to find out what the different opportunities are, what the best opportunity is, and you will do that by this. So yeah, see you